the $75,000 Miller Lite Cleveland Open, and we are getting set for the championship through rose-colored glasses, folks. There it is, the Nautica Complex, and the crowd ready, roaring, ready for this great championship. St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos, the Kings, against Karts Kurai and Kent Steffes. Well, they're wearing the new crowns right now, going for 13 in a row, and there's Jimmy Leonard. Maybe the best in the biz, referee. And bringing good weather this week, George Carey, for once. I mentioned it to him. He said, yeah, the sunshine. And there is St. John Smith, along with Randy Stoklos, trying to win their first tournament since April, believe it or not. St. John's numbers, 132 career wins. Nobody has that many. Of course, his partner, Randy Stoklos. I'm Bill McDonald, along with Roger Clark, in lieu of the Boys of Steel in Barcelona. And Mike Dodd, MD, is been nice enough to join us here, and we're going to get his comment in just a moment. Here we go. We're underway. The championship to 15, and immediately Karts Kurai with the block, and it is 1-0. Kurai and Steffes. And Kurai and Steffes looking to tie Jimmy Menges and Greg Lee. There's the young gun, Kent Steffes, 6'4", 210. Currently going to UCLA. 1-0. And Randy with the big pound and the side out. And now we will take a look at Randy Stoklos, who will be back to serve. We'll get a chance to see Randy's numbers also. And there's his partner, St. John Smith. They just defeated, in a close one, 15-14, if you just joined us, Adam Johnson and Brent Frohoff. It'll be St. John's turn to serve. As mentioned, we're going to 15, but we have the 10-minute time clock, which runs during the rallies. St. John to serve. A big hit by Kent Steffes, and no chance that time for St. John as Karts goes back to serve. Want to bring Mike in right now. Your thoughts? We've asked everybody as it goes along in this impressive streak of Steffes and Karts Kurai, who we look at right there. Here's the hit. Can't put it over on 2. Mike, your thoughts on the big streak?
I tell you, one of the biggest differences, I think, is Karts being full-time on the beach, and his jump serve is 100% improved over the previous years. And when you've got both him and Kent serving jumpers at their maximum, they're a tough team to side out against.
And there's a hit by Karts Kurai. Roger was saying this also after playing them yesterday. It seems that that team, if they get in trouble, somehow just notches it up a couple of levels when it gets to crunch time. And I'm sure it's happened against you also.
Well, they're just so athletic. I mean,
oh, that's going to be called in. It appeared from up here, of course, we're not close to there, but it appeared that that one was out. Now we're going to get a major B from at least Randy. St. John might have been even closer to it.
We're going to look at it right here. Kent with a nice hard jump serve. Let me see. Well, you can't really tell. It could have caught it going out. It looked out to me, though.
All it's got to do is flutter just a bit. That caught the outside of the line, and it is 2-0. So Kurai and Steffes off to a good start after sitting for quite some time. Big hit that time by Randy Stoklos. As you were saying, Mike Dodd, they bring it up, the athleticism are Randy and St. John going through right now to get back into that winner's circle, because it's been a long time, the longest cold spell for them ever.
Well, it's a mental thing, and it goes both ways. You have Karch and Kent getting more and more positive, more and more confident with each tournament that they win. And you have St. John and Randy getting more and more frustrated and trying harder and harder and just not getting it done as each tournament they don't win. So it's a double-edged sword, and it's hard to work yourself through.
Anything different in the game of Stoklos and Smith now than maybe even a year ago? Not trying to put you on the spot here, but I mean, obviously things aren't going as well.
Put him on the spot, Bill.
Yeah, well, that's the way it goes, as we'll watch Randy hit one right here, brought right back by Kent. St. John was there. Good reaction.
Look out.
Karch. See ya.
I don't think it's all Karch and Kent. I mean, St. John and Randy have had their problems with a lot of different teams on the tour this year, and they're bickering a lot more, and they're getting frustrated with each other's play, and it just comes from not winning.
We were talking about the bickering during the semifinal. Over on 2, Randy sneaks one over and says, hey, let's stop this right there. We're down 1-3, and we've got to get a side out in the serve to try to get back quickly and get this crowd going. It is 3-1. Kent Steffes, there he is. Karch Kurai. Steffes nervous as all heck before this one. He really wants number 13 badly.
sleepless night for old Ken.
And that one is out this time. And the Bronx cheer here in Cleveland, Ohio. And we will take the turn. We are early in the championship contest. And a marquee matchup it is. Watch it drop out. Miss Stoklos, Steffes I. Back at the Nautica Complex for the $75,000 Miller Lite Cleveland Open as we bring it to you coast to coast on Prime Network. Our final telecast of the year. As mentioned, the Peacock will pick it up for the next two, the USA Championships in a couple of weeks, and next week in Seal Beach. We are in our championship final. I'm Bill McDonald along with Roger Clark and Mike Dodd. The infamous MD is up here with us. And there, thank you, Roger.
You're welcome. That's how they announce his name all the time.
Mike Dodd. Kind of like a boxer in one corner. Mike, let's get right to it. You were involved in a great game. Roger and I were referring to it right at the top of things as Kent serves it up here to St. John. And the side out against your old partner, Tim Hovland. Hovland and Lewis, Dodd and Powers, and it was really a classic in one of the outer courts.
Yeah, battle royale. We sneaked it out 17-15. Pat Powers had a great block and a great jump serve at the end of the match, and it's tough to play against Tim. I mean,
Hov didn't get upset at all, did he, during the match?
No heat in that battle?
I tell you, after the match, he was just sitting there so dejected on the side, and that, you know, I don't think there's ever been anyone as competitive or as entertaining in all of beach volleyball. I mean, the Hov is the Hov, and no one else can do what he does out there. And it was a great win. Anytime you beat Tim, you know, you got to feel proud of your accomplishment.
3-2 here. Kirai and Steffes in the lead, but bombs away now for Randy Stoklos to get the side out. Then just to kind of close matters on you in the tournament, you had a sensational comeback right at the end against Frohoff and Johnson when you were just about left for dead, and you guys tied it up with 2 quick points in the last 10 seconds, sent it to OT.
Yeah, we sent it to OT and just couldn't get the job done at the end. There's a nice bump set by Kent, and Karts kind of slithers it by. You don't see Kart or Kent bumping each other very often. They hand set all the time, and I think that's one of the reasons they're such a consistent side-out team.
When you guys go up against Steffes and Kirai, what do you try to do? How do you attack? Anybody who comes up here's got to have their own game plan. What do you think?
Well, I think the key, as the way volleyball is in the 90s, there's a great dig by Kent.
And Steffes, no. Good hustle.
You know, if you're really in tune to beach volleyball, and these fans here in Cleveland are definitely in tune, the jump serve is everything, and I don't think you're going to be able to compete with these guys unless you're getting them in trouble consistently, whether it be a great sky ball, a great jump serve, moving them in and out, making them move, and making them make a few mistakes, because they are so consistent, and they are serving so tough at you consistently every time that you've really got to try to turn the tables and put pressure on them.
St. John with the jump serve. And
that's just a pretty side out. It's a good pass. It's a perfect set. And you've got Kent moving as gracefully and jumping as high and doing things as easy as I've ever seen a volleyball player do it right now. And
you know how I try and beat these guys? I try and hit the balls at them during warm-ups. Like right to the lower part of their bodies.
There you see an ace serve by Kirai. And that's just something he hadn't been doing. He'd been coming up from the national team and just playing a tournament here and there. And he never got in the groove, and from what I've heard, he jump serves 100, 150 balls down at Capo Beach every day, and it's paying dividends.
What he's doing is fulfilling expectations. A lot of people predicted that when Karch would come out and play full-time, he would, if he found the right partner, be able to dominate just like he is now.
It was a sad day when he came out full-time for us volleyball players.
Wouldn't it though? 4-2 is the score. St. John took a look, and that goes out.
There's 2 rather unforced errors by Kent. Uncharacteristically, he's hit probably his favorite shot is that looping line over the block, and he's already knocked 2 of those out. So he might be feeling the nerves a little bit right now.
Interesting, though, how he has matured volleyball-wise so quickly in the last couple of years. Kent Steffes has all the shots right there. He just bangs it cross court.
I tell you, when he first started playing with Tim Hovland is when I saw a real change in his game. It looked like the Hov instilled some pressure on him to really get the job done. You know, you play with Tim, and he pushes you. he says, you've got to do the job.
it
You've
kills
got to
you.
be the man.
In fact, it was here in Cleveland when he first played with him. He played against you in the final, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and I really noticed a big change in Kent. He took on a lot more responsibility, and he became the guy. And ever since then, he's been a different player, mentally, more than physically.
At 3-4. Steffes up, over, and St. John with the dive, got a hand on it, but not able to control it. Of course, St. John had been with us the last couple of weeks, helping us out during the final. He declined this time, said, hey, I'd rather play in the championship.
Yeah. Here's St. John running down that ball. Just gets a hand on it.
St. John makes a good move, and on most guys, he'd be picking that ball up, but Kent's hitting it so high, it's almost like there's not a lot of arc over the block. He's hitting down towards the line.
6'5", and he jumps higher than both of us combined.
Kent and Karch both hit it at the top. Very difficult.
You and Billy.
I meant me and Billy. You jump. You're an incredible leaper, Mike. We know that.
Randy, big swing, but that's out. No touch by Kent Steffes. And Karai and Steffes now move to 5 at 5-3. We're early here in the championship. Kent Steffes trying to become only the second player, actually the third player ever to win 16 tournaments in a year. Smith and Stoklos did it in 1987.
Oh, great up.
That's a great up by Karch. Can he do it again? No. Open court, good play by St. John Smith.
You know, St. John's been playing as well as I've ever seen him play. And
one more time, Karch here,
Karch
Mike.
running down, bang. Ken pops that over because he touched it on the block.
no one sees the open court better than St. John. He sees Karch moving over, and it's an easy lob over the line.
Randy up on Kent Steffes, and he puts it right down the line. That's one of his favorite shots, using that line. And it's 5-3.
You know, we were speaking of the problems that St. John and Randy have been having. It seems like more and more teams are serving exclusively to Randy, and it's people wonder why it took so long for players to realize it, because St. John hasn't been setting Randy as well. Randy gets frustrated with the poor sets, and you know, when you see St. John getting the serve, it's just a perfect pass, a perfect set,
Right.
and he sees the court, and the ball hits the sand.
That's one thing you got to remember about Randy Stoklos. Everybody knows him for his blocking and his power hitting, but he has some of the sweetest hands you'll ever find anywhere.
Oh, he's got, you know, the best hands on the beach.
Yeah.
And I don't think there are very many players that would argue with that.
No, and for such a big guy, too, to have such great hands. Usually the big guys are kind of like, well, I won't mention any names, but there are a lot of big guys that can't set the ball with their hands. Mike Dodd. No.
5-3. It's
Just
3 during
kidding.
5, actually. And St. John
Just misses.
looking for the ace, trying to get something going on his serve. We're going to 15 here in the championship. Karch Karai. Nobody up. Good dig. Chance right here for Karch. Look out. St. John read it well, but just a little too much heat, and we move to 6-3.
Great dig by Karch, and they're transitioning better than any team right now. And when you're transitioning and scoring points off your defensive plays, you know,
You
you're tough to beat. You're going to win
Been watching
12 tournaments in a row.
Been watching St. John and Randy the last 2 weeks, and they've made some great defensive plays, but just unable to convert for the points.
And that time, Karch, the unforced error into the net. One other thing that we mentioned quite a bit, Karch and Kent haven't had to battle through the losers bracket, which you both know is so important.
That makes it easier.
Kent Steffes and a side out. We're going to take a break. We're also going to say thank you and goodbye to Mike Dodd.
Thank
Great
you,
tournament.
Billy.
Very nice finish. And
Great
thank you for
being up
coming
here.
up here.
I love you, Mike Dodd.
Take it
See you in a
easy,
minute.
Roger.
We'll be back. Welcome back. It is 6-3 in that time. Kent Steffes puts it in the net. And we want to thank Mike Dodd once again for coming up and joining us. Bill McDonald and Roger Clark bringing it to you. This is the championship final in Cleveland. It is 3-6. St. John Smith, Randy Stoklos down. St. John's there. Great dig, read it well on the touch. And a missed opportunity that time by St. John Smith, and he is so aggravated with himself after the sensational defensive effort.
A complete sprawl dig here by St. John. Karch makes a little cut shot, rolls off the tape. St. John with the right hand gets that in the air, Randy can't get the setup to the net. St. John tries a little dink shot. Bang, doesn't make it over. Great up, though.
And here is the toweling off just to break the momentum a little bit that St. John Smith now is using, that we saw Frohoff and Johnson use effectively during their game. Huge crowd here at the Flats in Cleveland. The bumper by St. John. Randy off the block of Kent Steffes, and that'll be a side out.
Side outs.
Randy Stoklos. Kent Steffes with some power from the right side, that time in the middle. And another side out to Ryan Steffes. They do it so well.
Everybody says about Kent that he has all these, you know, the line shots, his best shot. I think he's got such a well-rounded game. He hits the ball really well from anywhere.
Good pass by St. John. Oh, look out, Kent Steffes. This is playable. Karch right at the barrier. Randy, Karch has got it up. Look out. Oh, jeez. That's in play. Tight set and in. That's a net, however, on Karch. That's Pro Beach volleyball at its best, and Roger explained that's a driven ball at the beginning. That's why it's still in play. That's the second dig, however.
Look at Kent. He goes up. That's a big drop there. That's about 3 feet down. She fell down pretty hard. I hope he's okay. St. John. Oh, Karchinet's there. St. John with that little cut shot. Now, that first dig by Kent that St. John hit, anywhere off the body is a good dig. He just hit him right in the shoulder, went straight up in the air. Karch ran from the net all the way to the back banner and got that ball up for him.
On a driven ball like that, literally, you could use your feet to dig it. Here is the first one.
Bang. Oh, gets him. Looks like got him in the side of the head. Look at Karch just motoring. It's one of the quickest guys out there. Kent plays that ball back in.
And, of course, outside the barriers is out of play. And Kent Steffes hammers one down. So after that sensational rally, a little bit more of what we usually see right there.
Thought he might be a little tired on that after running and falling down and everything, but sides out nice and easy.
We hope you're enjoying it. Beach Volleyball on Prime Network. We've had a great season. St. John with the angle right there. As Kent was up, tried to backpedal back. Nobody was really challenging St. John Smith. And it'll be side out to Randy Stoklos. So we're in a bit of a side out streak right here at 3 serving 6. And I think both teams right now just trying to catch their breath a bit. 6:16 on the time clock. As Roger and I have mentioned time and time again, you start looking at it when it gets down to about 2 or so. That's when you start playing with it or against it. Kent is really hitting well.
Kent's in the groove. He's in a side-out groove right now, just banging the ball. He hasn't thrown down one shot. I think he hit one little loopy line shot. The rest have just been hard spikes.
Kent Steffes, who really admired Jimmy Menges as a beach volleyball player as he was growing up. I think anybody around that time who went down to the beach would admire Menges and Lee.
Calls Jim Menges his idol.
Big dig again, and Karch covered a lot of ground. That might drop in.
Ooh, just out. Another one of those plays, Randy. Let that ball go out.
One thing this is going to do, it's going to frustrate you. If there's Smith and Stoklos thinking, hey, anything we put down, they might get a hand on it. They might be able to run it down. It's still 3-6.
We got a little bit of shadows coming on the court there, Bill, if you notice that. I don't think it'll affect the players that badly, though.
Steffes finds the open court beautifully as St. John was cheating over on one side. Not really like having a fastball come at you when you're a hitter in baseball through a shadow.
Yeah, you know, one thing that might be good about that, it's kind of hot down there, Billy. Have I mentioned that? There's a little shade there for somebody. If you get a little tired, you know, where St. John went and toweled off. He was towering off in the shade over there. Smart guy, that St. John Smith.
Side out streak is now at 8. Karch hammering one. And Steffes, who told me that he enjoyed some tennis at the LA Tennis Center this week. Got a big kick out of watching Jimmy Connors this week. Threw a little inspiration from old Jimbo.
Good set there by St. John. Randy just unleashes cross court.
Still at 3-6. No, make it 4-6 and a side change. As the top serve, and Karch unable to handle the pass.
Side change.
And we will take the turn at 6-4. Steffes and Karai looking to extend the streak. Welcome back to Miller Lite Cleveland Open as the tour rolls on across America. And we are right at the Nautica complex right here at the flats, and those are two smokestacks here at by the power plant, and that is what is causing that shadow, Roger.
May affect the game a little later on.
Dug by St. John, still playing great D. And Karch, that's out. So a couple in a row for Smith and Stoklos. And it is now 5-6, so a couple of errors. That time Karch just trying the near impossible angle. Crowd now getting more vocal. Oh, that's a hammer.
He hit that thing cross court inside about the 3-foot line. We're going to see it again here. Karch with a great set. Look at this hit. Bang! God, that's about 10-foot line. It's a great hit. Wish I could jump that high.
And now Kent will be back to serve.
Don't you jump that high, Billy?
I can't take seventh place like you can.
It's all in the timing.
Randy look for the side out. Karch with the block, but that's going to go out. And once again, a side out now to St. John and Randy. Down 5-6 here in our championship game. Karai and Steffes have not lost since May the 16th and 17th at San Antonio, Texas. And those are the kills right now. You can see who is getting most of the work. That's a joust at the net. Randy, up, over, down. 6-6 as that went down on the other side as Karch just couldn't get up there soon enough. Here's the joust.
Here's a great angle. That's a joust. That's a simultaneous contact. So that's the first hit. St. John can set Randy. Bang. Karch can't get up there to block.
No, on the way up, and then the big pound by Randy Stoklos. We've got a timeout as Karch and Kent say, hey, let's stop this for a moment. It's 6-6. Don't you move. Back to Cleveland after this. St. John Smith back to serve. We're tied at 6. Karch over the shoulder of St. John. He was hoping that was going to fly out. And it'll be side out to Karch Karai. Next week, Orange County will be the side of the tour, more specifically Seal Beach. For the $100,000 tournament.
I'm sorry, Bill. I didn't mean to interrupt. But St. John and Randy aren't real happy about it. They wanted a double contact on that set by Kent. They didn't get it.
On the outside, and St. John, that's going to go wide. So the set way outside, and St. John, not a lot of room for error that time, and tried to go right down the line and just knocked it out. So it's 7-6. Karai and Steffes back in the lead.
One thing about Karch and Kent, they're so good that you try and make your shots a little too crisp, and that's what St. John did there.
And St. John over the block. Now, if you're not familiar with the game of beach volleyball, because Smith and Stoklos are coming through the contender bracket, if they were to win this game to 15, we would have a double final. They would play a quicker game to 7. And that would determine our winner.
I think the crowd would love it.
Right there, Randy Stoklos says, I would love it too. With the ace, as Karch can only wave goodbye at that one as it goes down in the sand. And we're tied at 7.
I think he had Karch leaning a little bit to the middle there. Whipped that one down across court towards the line.
Randy trying it again, this time more in the middle of Karch. Perfect set. And a box! Randy Stoklos with a big block on Karch Karai. And as we change sides, it is Smith, Stoklos, and the big roof by Randy. And as we come back, the serve now belongs to Karai and Steffes as they just sided out. Tough serve. And St. John Smith coming through again.
Great play. That was a real tough serve by Kent there, and St. John made a real good pass. Randy put him up to the net for him to side out.
That's a good point. Give credit there to the serve of Kent Steffes. Now St. John Smith will be back to serve at 10-7. This will be Kent Steffes. He is just playing so well.
They were scoring points going to Karch. They turn around, they serve Kent, he puts the ball away. I think they got to go back to Karch. But what kind of choice is that? Either you serve Kent or you serve Karch.
You know, if you just went to anybody that knew volleyball and said, hey, let's serve Karch Karai as much as possible, they're saying, hey, you're talking about the best guy in the world.
Nuts. You're crazy. Crazy boys.
Randy, that's off the block. Is there a touch? No touch. So Randy waffled one that time out of bounds. So the point goes to Karai and Steffes, rather. That is a mistake.
Here's what they did. They tried that little shoot outside set again. They haven't been doing that today, and now they try it at such a crucial point in the game. I'm not sure that was the way to go.
8-10. Randy getting a workout this afternoon. And Kent Steffes doing some pointing in Randy Stoklos.
Kent's doing a little payback here. Randy yelled at Karch after he blocked him.
Yeah, there's some emotion riding right now between these two teams.
Watch Kent get over the net. Way over the net. Bang. What a big kid. Just puts down that thing for the point. And then there he is pointing at Randy. I think Randy got a little excited when he blocked Karch, and they're just paying him back.
1 point game. Again! Randy's going to get another opportunity right there! You just don't play any better than Ken Steffes did in those last couple of points. We are tied at 10 as the crowd roars its approval. We are back in Cleveland. I'm Bill McDonald. Alongside is Roger Clark. This is the championship, and one of the biggest weapons on the beach, Roger, is the block. It takes your confidence away and really builds momentum.
It does. Here, Kent gets up over the net, blocks Randy one time. He covers it, then he tries to shoot it over on a set. Kent blocks that also. Like I was telling you, Billy, earlier, Karch gets blocked one time, then he throws down 2 dink shots that Sinjin gets up, scores some points.
And on the point before that one, which we just saw, it was a big stuff block on Randy by Kent Steffes. So Steffes is really playing well. 17 kills, 2 blocks. And we are tied at 10.
Just trying to clarify what my point I was trying to make there is that sometimes after the stuff block, after that, you go right back to that guy and see if it hurt his confidence. And twice now we've seen it happen.
We change sides. Smith Stoklos trying to force a double final. And of course, Karai and Steffes trying to make it a magic number 13 in a row and Ty Mingerson Lee. And right now, Sinjin Smith trying to get the crowd back into it as he sets Randy Stoklos for the pound.
These guys are gonna. There's some talk going underneath the net here. You got Randy yelling at Kent. You got Kent yelling at Randy. This is just unbelievable.
There's a lot riding on this. There's history riding on this, and that I think both teams have grabbed the moment and they realize it. And Karch puts that one away for the side out. And the clock now just taking a bit of a glance. 3:54. We didn't think it was going to come into play in our semifinal, but
it did.
It really did.
I know. Here I was saying, oh, it's not going to be a factor, and then it is. Like, I shouldn't have said something like that, should I?
Steffes to serve. Sinjin over and around the block of Karch Karai that time. Nobody can place it as well as Sinjin Smith has for years and years.
No. That's why you're not serving Sinjin as much anymore. He passes so well. Randy, like Mike Dodd said, then Randy puts the ball up there perfect, and Sinjin puts it anywhere.
Karai and Steffes await. That's a tough serve. But Karch makes beautiful work of it on the pass set and then hits.
Even was set a little deep, you know. The pass was up to the net. Kent bumped it backwards, but Karch jumped so high, gets up there and bangs that thing.
So the crowd now anxiously awaiting another run. We've had a couple of them by both teams here in this contest.
It'll come. Here we go, Randy. I can feel it.
10-10. Karch anxiously awaiting as Stoklos paces back and forth. Now we're ready to go, and Randy will get another chance here to side out. Pretty tight, and another block. Not a whole lot that Randy could do with that one.
There's a good angle from the net here. A little tight of the set here. Just can't do too much. Tries to hit that cross court. Kent gets that left hand right on that thing.
1 point lead, Karai Steffes as they work towards 15.
Another tight one.
And Randy this time going to poke, and we could go to 12-10 here, and a 2-point advantage for Karch. Great shot by Smith. No!
Randy hit the net on that one. That was a great dig by Sinjin, but Randy was in the net. Here's that run we were just talking about.
So it's 2-0 and only 3 away from another championship. And Smith and Stoklos, time to dig deep right here.
Nail-biting time. Nail-biting time.
You don't want to get Karai Steffes close because they can sense the kill as well as anybody ever has.
They smell it.
A lot of teams during this streak of 12 wins in a row have been close up to this point, and then it just gets away at the end. We've seen it happen before. We'll see if it happens again when we come back. Randy Stoklos down by 1 with the serve. Sinjin's there. That was the driven ball.
He double hit that dig, but that's a legal dig because it was a serve ball, just like earlier we talked about. But Randy couldn't turn around to get to set that ball. Another thing I've noticed in this game, Billy, is that Randy's jump throwing, but he's also blocking. You haven't seen Sinjin block too much this game.
Which we saw in the semi. That's a tough pass right there, but Sinjin plays it well. This is going over. And a point. 13-11. So on the tough serve, the pass just floated towards the net, and you can see Kent.
Now a 2-point lead.
Just 2 more.
Steffes.
He wants this.
Oh.
And 25.
He really said to us it would be the highlight of his career so far, right here, tying the record. The highlight far and away.
This is the one record that he wants more than anything. Any record, this is the one that he wants the most.
And he wants to tie it this week and go for it. Number 14 next week in Seal Beach. Look out here. We could go to championship point. We do. It is 14-11. When we come back, Steffes and Karai will be serving to tie the record. Stay with us. Cleveland, Ohio. And Karai and Steffes 1 point away from another title, 14-11. And those last couple of points, Roger Clark, Karch Karai just getting it done at the net.
He touched both those balls. Kent was able to put them both away for easy points.
Those are Kent's stats, and the crowd, as we mentioned before, sensing the moment, as Kent Steffes will be serving for the title at 14-11.
They want to do it right here, immediately.
It'll be Karch going up on Randy. And it's out! And that's it! It is 13 in a row for Kent Steffes and Karch Karai, and they have tied the all-time consecutive record of winning tournaments set back in 1975 and 76 by the great Jimmy Mangus and Greg Lee. It is now shared at 13, and Kent Steffes says, give me that ball, baby. It's a momentum. So Steffes and Karai going down as one of the great teams of all time. They win it here in Cleveland. Don't go away. Back with more after this. Now, Karch and Kent, the winners here, they had to catch a quick flight. They win 15-11, but just a couple moments ago, I had a chance to go down and talk to the very happy winners of the Cleveland Open. Now we are courtside with our winners, and congratulations, Karch and Kent. I'll tell you what, another week, another record. You were very, very pleased to get 10 in a row, then 11 in a row, but of course 13 is sweet, and next week in Seal Beach, it should be something special also.
Well, there was another milestone also. We got Kent to tie the all-time individual season mark of 16 wins in a row, and I really went into the tank there for a while. I wasn't playing very well in the middle, and we have Randy to thank for it, really. He started talking some abuse under the net, woke us up, and we only gave up one more point after 10-7.
Your partner is really pumping you up here. It was an emotional match for both teams, wasn't it?
Well, definitely. You know, Randy was getting on Karch, and you don't get on my partner, or you'll pay the price. And we really stuck it to him pretty well.
You know, it's interesting. Roger and I were talking about it. One of the biggest weapons on the beach is the stuff block, and it happened for both teams. You got the big block, then all of a sudden the momentum would go the other way.
Yeah, it was really a strange match. We'd get 3 or 4 in a row. They got 5 in a row to 10-7, and then we got a bunch in a row right back to 5 in a row until whatever. So we weren't playing consistently. I was screwing up by hitting those balls out and getting dug.
Kent, before I let you go, I've got to ask you, this meant a lot to you, obviously, because Jimmy Mangus meant a lot to you growing up and watching him play volleyball, and now you've tied him.
You know, of all the players that ever played, he was my favorite. He was my hero. when I was growing up, and it's really the only record that I really wanted to beat. And now I've tied it, and hopefully next week we'll beat it. But if not, I'd be happy to share it with him. Yeah.